Tonight, it's Madden NFL football. It's Super Bowl Sunday. We'll see Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, for these Kansas City Chiefs, they, of course, were Super Bowl champions 3 years ago. The win over the Niners in Miami. They fell to the Bucs in Tampa a couple years back. They had the blown lead in the AFC title game against Cincinnati last year. And now they're back, making their third trip to the big game in 4 years.
And their recent history only increases the urgency to try and win another Super Bowl title with this group.
Meanwhile, it took until Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles to lift the Lombardi Trophy for the first time. And not too many players are left from that squad 5 years ago. But this new group is looking to write a new chapter of Eagles lore.
Yeah, we certainly all remember that performance in the win over New England. Nick Foles throwing for 373 yards, catching the Philly special that will go down as one of the most iconic play calls in Super Bowl history. Now they're back and looking to make it 2 titles in 6 years.
The hype and the talk is over. We're set for the big one. Super Bowl 57. Away we go from Arizona, taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
I think we all heard about it in the offseason. There were many questions asking if Philadelphia might consider bringing in another quarterback to replace Jalen Hurts. He answered emphatically, "This is my team," and he led them to a Super Bowl appearance. A well-deserved moment for this quarterback who just kept his head down, kept working, and eliminated all the noise.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Hurts to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Throwing is Hurts. Buying time to his left. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Hurts. And he's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
A chance for the first points of this Super Bowl. It's 1st and goal. It'll be Hurts on the option. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts. A 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Eagles are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Solid finish to the opening drive. And look, when you get down around the goal line, you have to account for his legs. We saw it right there.
Yeah, that's the added dimension to the offense, isn't it? Remember what the offensive line coach told us earlier this week? I told my guys, he's going to run it. We have to make sure he stays protected and give him an opportunity.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
You can't help but continue to marvel at how well this man's career has gone so far. And now in his 5th season as KC starter, He's never missed a conference title game, and he's taking the field in his 3rd Super Bowl. Simply dominant, it's easy to envision him being one of the top quarterbacks for many years to come.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. On 1st down, Mahomes. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Sometimes the visuals don't exactly work out the way you expect. They wanted to let him use his size there and float one up to him, but he wasn't able to get any separation. The DB was right on him and forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run for the first time with Jerick McKinnon. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
One quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 7-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying this Super Bowl at 7.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still...
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Nick Bolton there on the tackle. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. His 2nd catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They go back to the ground with Sanders. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle, complete. It's Sanders. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 35. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. This will be caught by Brown. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Back to throw again. Flushed out right. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now, I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, rules of the field
challenge a successful one. From the gun, it's Hurts. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Eagles have moved out in front. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. But Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Looking underneath, and he finds McKinnon. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Working with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everyone to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. And the Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And they trail here in this Super Bowl, but fortunately for them, Charles, very much still within striking range.
Yeah, things didn't go exactly the way they planned in the first half. To me, they appeared to be a little bit tight, made a few errors they normally wouldn't. But, of course, this is the Super Bowl, so things get a little bit heightened in that regard. But I think they have to feel a little fortunate. They're only down what they are here starting the third quarter.
Now McKinnon to start the drive. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. Third and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That fifth defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. He'll look to throw.
And once again, this is Sanders. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option.
Chris Jones on the stop. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll drop to throw.
Quick slant here to Smith.
That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
This just a 24-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now here comes Kansas City. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 36 yards on the play.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Third quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the left hash, this from 37. Butker's kick here is good, and that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. Just 1 more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Butker now to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A one-score game. 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 26.
He'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. He's got Smith here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Smith brings it in, going across the middle. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
On the draw, here's Sanders. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
2nd down, back to Sanders.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run with Sanders, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Once again with Sanders. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. Here's Hurts to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Well, we saw him score on the ground earlier in the ball game. This time, the defense says not so fast.
Yeah, that's good scouting and good awareness, isn't it? Because you always have to be wary of him keeping it himself, especially in this part of the field. Because if he doesn't like what he sees, you know he'll take off and try and go for it himself.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This will get the lead up to 7. The kick by Elliott is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down 20-13, a little under a minute to go. And they have to have a touchdown to level this Super Bowl as they come up on 1st down. Here's Mahomes. Forced out to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Mahomes. Finding Kelsey.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Mahomes to throw it.
And that will be incomplete with the clock down now to 13 seconds.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Mahomes.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
A really nice knockdown. He has so much pressure in these situations on defensive backs. What are they taught?
Play the ball, not the man, because if you have a pass interference penalty in this spot, boy, oh boy, you put your team in a bad place.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Mahomes.
And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip. Try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
One final try for Mahomes. He's going to let it fly.
Well, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down.
And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. What a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gunn signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.